Whoa, where'd we go, Ma?
I don't know. Technology is kind of crazy.
Technology is crazy. Guys, we're back. We're still talking about sex. If you guys missed any of what we talked about in the first 2 minutes, look below. It's all down there. I looked at some of the comments while we were down, and someone said you were a MILF.
I have no idea what that means. That
Cool.
sounds like an insect.
Honestly, let's keep going. So, guys, we are asking my mom sex questions. She's a
About sexual activity.
Sexual activity. She's a health teacher. And we have 2 signs. We have one for me. If I ever get uncomfortable, I'll be doing this.
And if I get uncomfortable, I can do this. Okay.
So we'll be doing this a lot. So, Mom, you're pretty much an expert, right, in sex education?
Well, I've been teaching for 29 years, so yeah. I guess. I don't know if I'm an expert, but I've been doing it a long time.
Okay, so I'm going to start off with just some questions I found that people are asking a lot about sex education. Kids don't know that much. So let's start out with penis questions.
Okay.
Okay. First question, can you draw on the board a normal size penis?
Well, it depends. Because first of all, there's really no normal. Everything comes in different sizes and shapes. And then if it's, if it has a lot of blood flow and it's erect, then it could be like a couple inches, 6, 7, or if it's flaccid, it's a little shriveled up.
Okay. So. For some reason, blood flow made me very uncomfortable.
That's why you have to be physically fit, so you have lots of blood flow. So
okay.
Yeah.
But could you draw one on the board, like what you would say is like a normal size?
Well, there is no normal size. There is no normal size.
Okay, so...
So really it doesn't matter. There's a scrotum and it holds 2 testes, and then there's this penis, and the penis is where the urine comes out, but if it's erect, then the epididymis, flap goes in, and then the only thing that can come out is semen.
Okay. This is honestly worse than I thought. This is honestly much worse than I thought. I honestly pitched this idea. I was like, this will be so fun, but I'm so uncomfortable.
It's okay.
Okay. So...
Well, you have a penis.
Thank you! I hate this. Okay. Is it normal to have one testicle bigger than the other?
Well, it could happen. It's like, many women, one breast is bigger than the other. So I guess it could happen. We could have one testicle that's a little bit bigger than the other. You're a little lopsided. It's okay.
So it's normal?
Yeah, it's normal.
You say it like it's not, but is it?
Well, it's nothing to get hysterical about. One's bigger than the other. It's okay.
So having a nut that's bigger than the other nut is nothing to cry about?
No, it's just how you are. Yeah.
Okay.
One foot could be bigger than the other foot.
That's true. Okay, so questions about losing your V card, right? A lot of kids are wondering, losing your virginity. It's a thing that people think about. Question, how do you break the hymen?
Well, there's a little flap of skin.
I just want to point out that I honestly don't know the answer to this.
They get penetration. And, that little flap of skin is broken, and it's usually a little painful, and it's a little bloody, and then you're good to go.
I'm learning, and I hope you guys are too. Okay. How do you get Plan B?
What do you mean, Plan B?
You're healthy. Plan B, the pill Plan B.
Oh, I'm sorry. I didn't know what you were talking about, but you
thought I was what did you think I meant?
I had no idea what you were talking about. I don't know.
So you heard Plan B as a health teacher and you were like, what's that?
If you need medication, you either have to go to a clinic or a doctor, and you'd have to get a prescription. Right. But condoms are over the counter. You don't need a prescription for condoms. And I would highly recommend condoms with nonoxynol 9 in real latex.
So you just said nonoxynol 9. What's that?
That's a spermicide. It kills the sperm.
Okay.
Yeah, and it kills any kind of bacteria or viruses that would be in the semen, but you have to wrap it up.
Okay.
So you say.
I'm uncomfortable again. Okay, cool.
There's better condoms than other condoms. It's just quality.
Definitely. Don't mention any brand condoms because.
But you have to pony up the money, or else they're too cheap. So pony it up.
So my mom says, pony it up when it comes to condoms, guys. If you guys are watching and have any sex questions for my mom, as uncomfortable as that sounds, just type them in and my producer will show it to me and I will be asking my mom a sex question that you watching on the internet want to know about.
That are appropriate. Okay.
Well, here we go. Let's talk about oral sex.
It's still sex. It is still sex. You're still sexually active.
Yeah.
You're being sexually active.
That's why they call it oral sex, right?
Right.
Okay, so this question is honestly, I think it's a good question.
Okay.
If you have semen in your mouth,
Uh-huh.
and then you go down on a girl, can you get her pregnant?
Most likely no. Most likely no.
No?
No, most likely no. Because you have enzymes in your mouth that, I mean, what are you going to like hold it in your mouth and then spit it into the woman's vagina?
Oh, I don't know. I honestly don't know.
I don't think so. I don't think so. Because when you have intercourse
Uh-huh.
and there's an erect penis inside a vagina, then it's way up near the cervix. So when it ejaculates, it's going to go up into the tubes. But if you were with the mouth, it probably wouldn't be able to make it up into the fallopian tubes, and that's where fertilization takes place. So I would say no.
Can you draw? Would you just, because that was, I feel like if I was interested in.
So when all right, it goes like this. All right.
So just explain what you're showing right now.
All right, so a woman's inside, you have your fallopian tubes and the ovaries, okay?
I just want to say one more time, this is my mother.
Okay, so these are the fallopian tubes, and this is the uterus, and this is the cervix, and this is the vagina. So when you're having intercourse, the penis is inserted into, an erect penis is inserted into the vagina, and
Can you insert a soft penis in a vagina?
No, it's too flaccid. It's like a shriveled up prune.
It's
Yeah, it wouldn't do anything.
a non-erect penis is like a shriveled up prune.
Yeah, it won't do anything. Yeah, no.
Yeah, that's actually true.
Yeah, it would knock at the door, but wouldn't go in.
Wait, say that again. And a shriveled up penis would knock at the door, but it wouldn't go in.
No, because it couldn't go in.
Like someone like a door-to-door salesman.
I don't know, Mike, please.
Oh, wait, before we finish this, we do have a question. Taylor wants to know, how many sexual partners is a normal amount?
Well, that would kind of depend on, that's a very individual question, but as a health educator and thinking about STIs and STDs, the more sexual partners that you have, the higher the risk that you could possibly get sick. And I would say, err on caution and try to limit your partners. I'm thinking now as a health educator and diseases, like you really don't want to get sick.
But if you're safe.
Well, if you're safe, but you basically make sure that you don't want to share bodily fluids. If you don't want to conceive a child, you don't share bodily fluids. So the penis should have a condom on it, and when it ejaculates, you want conception to happen up in the tubes. So I don't think by spitting it would be able to swim upstream. No, I don't.
This looks like a monster from Game of Thrones.
No, and actually, this is like a boy, right?
This is a boy?
No. This is a girl.
This is a girl.
But here are ovaries, right? My ovaries, which are equal to your testes, right? And our ovaries are inside. Your testes are outside.
They're down.
And they're
below.
in the scrotum, and they have to be 2 degrees lower body temperature than the body temperature. That's why they're out. So if you wear like tighty whities and they're scrunched up your testes up to your torso, you could actually be killing your sperm.
Wait.
It's not birth control. That's not birth control, though.
This is big, though.
That's not birth.
Yeah, but this is big, though. Because I know a lot of guys that wear really tight underwear that could be killing their sperm count.
Boxers are really healthy. You want the air to get in there. You want them to like float around.
You like boxers?
I'm just talking about the health teacher.
I know. I'm saying to you. I know a lot of people that
I don't wear boxers. I wear regular.
I'm not talking about you. I'm talking about guys I know wear very tight underwear. I think if you go to Fire Island, there's guys wearing very tight bathing suits and very tight underwear.
Well, they probably don't want to procreate, so it doesn't matter if the sperm are dead.
They might want. I mean, you're now making an assumption, which I kind of agree with, but we'll talk about that later.
They probably don't want to procreate.
Yeah.
That's a woman, okay? So you got your fallopian tubes, they're like here. Your ovaries are here, your fallopian tubes, your uterus is here. That's why when women are menstruating, sometimes they feel bloated.
They feel bloated.
Because their uterine lining increases
lining.
before they menstruate. And then, the vagina down at the very bottom.
You know
It's
what?
very simple.
I feel like a scholar of the vagina at this point.
Well, there you go.
Well, let's keep moving on. If you guys have any more questions...
I hope this is helpful.
I hope this was helpful to you guys. It looks like we are getting some more sex questions. Let's hop on that. Monroy asks, which gender is more perverted?
I really couldn't answer that. I really do not know. I couldn't answer that one. That's a very interesting question, but I don't have the answer. I'm sorry. I don't know.
Because I would say a lot, there's a lot of guys are very like sexually aggressive towards women. Like the catcalling video is big on the internet. Guys are calling out to women, but you're not. You're going to take a stance of like, no.
I don't like to answer something if I don't know the answer, so I really am not familiar with.
That's good. That's good.
Okay.
Donald Trump disagrees with that answer.
Oh, really?
If he doesn't know what he's talking about, he keeps talking.
Oh, I'm not familiar with which one's more perverted. So.
Okay, cool. So we're gonna move on. This is a question. It's really weird. I'm gonna ask it because it's here, but I'm very uncomfortable.
Well, I am your mother. You know, I mean, like.
Should I not?
No, you can ask. You're uncomfortable. I'll see if I can answer it.
Ugh.
Okay.
How do you give a blowjob? I hate that.
Michael?
I know.
Michael?
You can always do that.
Yeah, that is a slang term for oral sex. That's what the slang term. A blowjob is slang, which for oral sex, I don't really agree with that term. But it's when one partner's mouth goes on another partner's genital.
All right, we got that one. We're gonna move on. We got it. We're moving on.
Yeah.
Now we're talking about anal sex.
Okay.
Is anal sex bad for your insides?
Well, that's a very interesting question. The anus was initially designed for an exit, not really an entrance.
I honestly can't with that answer.
So,
the anus was designed as an exit, but here's the thing.
Not really an entrance.
But I think a lot of people have anal sex.
Yes. And
you don't have anal. I don't want you to answer that question. Okay, let's move on. Okay.
Why would I have anal sex when I have a vagina?
That's it. You know what? Good answer. Good answer.
That works.
Okay. Another question about anal sex. This is also uncomfortable, but I am interested. If you have butt sex and someone comes in your butt and you fart, what happens?
Well, that's never happened to me. So.
Thank God.
What would happen? I don't know.
Okay, honestly.
I don't know. Maybe it would be a wet fart. I don't know.
Oh my God.
I don't know.
Again, if you guys have any questions about like any of this stuff,
I'm just taking a guess. I don't know.
Cool. Also, you guys are watching this. Does this make me crazy? Do you guys think I'm crazy?
I just think you're exploring a very sensitive, delicate topic that I feel like too many people don't really discuss, and they really don't.
You're right, because everyone has sex.
Yes. Most people, I would say, are sexually active. Some people do choose to take a vow of chastity, and they choose to be celibate for whatever reason. But most people are sexually active. Yes, and there's nothing wrong with.
There's nothing.
No,
it's good.
No.
Jesse asks, "Why are there fetishes?" Mm-hmm. So the question is like, what's the purpose of sexual fetishes?
You know what? Being sexually active is a very personal thing. Like some people like to hold hands, some people don't like to hold hands. You know, PDA. Some people, want to, as I say, suck face. And they want to like swap spit.
That seems like a derogatory term towards kissing.
Well, there's different ways of kissing, and everyone has their own personal preference. So I guess it's like some people like, to wear different colors.
Yeah,
like
we're
wearing like
teal. And we got good outfits on.
Yeah, I think it's a personal preference.
So it's like you're wearing flip-flops right now, but we're doing a Facebook Live on MTV.
Aren't they cute flip-flops?
They're honestly adorable. Your nails look amazing. So you want to wear flip-flops. Some people don't like flip-flops. Me personally, I don't like to see feet in subways. So if you're wearing flip-flops on the subway, I'm like, get those toes away.
Okay.
So I guess in terms of fetishes, some people like it, some people don't.
Right. Okay, that makes sense.
So your answer is like, because some people like things.
Yeah, it's a personal preference. That's
cool. Thanks for the question, Jesse. Hope that answers it for you. So, masturbation.
Ooh.
What's the point of masturbation?
Well, there's really no specific point, but that's just people, touching themselves in a way, and they like to get pleasure from it. So if they do it privately, that's fine. It's probably something you don't really want to talk about. But you're not going to grow hair on your hands or your
there's a lot of confusion with masturbation. There's a lot of confusion where people think like bad things will happen to you if you masturbate. So do you have any thoughts about that?
No, it's perfectly normal, but it's not something that you discuss at the dinner table.
Well, you do it on a Facebook Live video.
No, but there's really nothing wrong with masturbation. And for some people that don't have a partner, if they want to get some sexual pleasure, that's okay to do by yourself.
Awesome.
Yeah.
I like that answer because I think masturbation's great.
Yeah, there's nothing wrong with it, but it's not something that you do in public. And, and it's something it's private. Like, there's a lot of private things that we do.
Yeah. Life can be private.
There are some things that are private. And for many people, getting back to your preferences or your fetishes, some people feel comfortable being open with, public display of affection. Like, they don't mind kissing in public and, like, really.
You don't like it?
Well, no, me personally, no.
I think it's nice.
Well, but you see, that's a personal thing. I don't want to, make out in public.
I think it's nice to see people feeling comfortable and in love in public.
Okay, I think holding hands is nice. Maybe, an arm around a shoulder, but I'm not really into PDA.
Okay. My mom's not into PDA, guys. We're moving on. Can you break sexual organs masturbating?
Sexual organs?
That's the question.
I don't think so. I mean, no, I don't think so.
I don't think so either.
No.
So you can't,
No.
according to our knowledge, you can't break a sexual organ while you're masturbating.
No.
Okay, let's talk a little bit about ejaculation.
Okay.
Well,
let me just back up to masturbation.
Okay.
If you are masturbating and you're giving yourself pleasure, you're not going to break an organ. But if you get into like kinky, really like sadistic stuff, your body can only take so much.
Have you ever heard of, there's a thing where people put like little animals up their butt?
I have heard of that.
You have?
I have heard of that.
That could hurt if it gets up and eats like...
Oh, yeah.
It could hurt.
But that's not, I just dropped my glasses, that's not, like regular masturbation is to just give yourself pleasure. Instead of getting pleasure from your partner, you're giving yourself pleasure. And pleasure shouldn't cause pain.
Gotcha.
So if it's causing pain, you've crossed from pleasure to pain, and that's not a good thing.
If you guys are just joining us, this is a Facebook Live. It's Sex Ed with my mother, who's also a sex educator, and health educator. We've been covering a lot of topics. Some have been really uncomfortable, but we are nailing it. Okay, so ejaculation.
Okay.
Can girls pee and orgasm at the same time?
No.
No.
And neither can males.
Well,
no.
I know that.
No.
Yeah.
Mm-mm.
Okay.
No. Good question, though.
Good question?
Good question, yes.
How soon is premature ejaculation?
What do you mean, how soon?
The question is, how soon is premature ejaculation?
Well, it can happen, and it can be so minuscule that the male would not even know that he did a premature ejaculation.
Really?
Yes. Yes.
Wait, no.
Yes. So a lot of times, sometimes couples, if they don't have a condom, which I do not recommend, they'll use the pull-out method. So they're having intercourse, and then before the man feels like he's going to ejaculate, he will pull his penis out and not ejaculate inside the vagina. But he could have a pre-ejaculation before the big ejaculation and not even know it. And that could be dangerous.
Okay, I'm feeling this. Okay, so there are some people on Facebook who find this conversation inappropriate. How would you answer that question?
Well, Well, here's the thing. Talking about sex education or sex in general, or sexual activity, I should say, is a topic that most people are not comfortable with. It's a topic that most people don't discuss openly with their parents.
Yeah.
Or their teachers. Often I have a board game in my classroom, Sex and Consequences, because the kids actually learn more about it by playing the game because they're too embarrassed or inhibited to ask me questions. I can have a question box, but it makes me upset as a health educator that people have questions and they're too embarrassed to ask. And it is awkward. It's an awkward topic because, much to my chagrin, there's a lot of smut out there, and a lot of people just make sexual activity smutty and dirty and it's shameful, and it's not at all.
Honestly, this is a really good answer. It's not shameful.
It's not, but it's something that should be treated with reverence and I think with sanctity, and it's not something that you just do. I personally don't think it should be something that's done with a cavalier attitude. Kind of like driving a car. If you're going to drive a car, you should be sober. You should not be texting. You shouldn't be on your phone. You should be following,
of course,
the rules.
Of course.
So if you're going to be sexually active, what I teach in my health class is that this is a very adult behavior. Sexual activity is really not for children. It's an adult behavior, and if you're going to do it, you should do it with reverence. You should be sober. You should be thinking about it, because not only can you hurt someone physically with an STD, or an unplanned pregnancy can really hurt someone. You can hurt someone emotionally.
Yes.
Because it's very emotional, and you treat it with reverence, and that's a really important thing.
Up top.
Yeah.
I think that's a really good answer because people are scared to talk about sex, but everyone has sex.
Most people will be sexually active for most of their lives. Most people. And I tell my teenagers when I'm teaching, don't rush into it, because as long as you're healthy, you can be in a relationship and being sexually active for the rest of your life. Like, there's no reason. It's not like, oh, I'm 40 now, I don't do that anymore. Like, you can be sexually
And also,
active.
sex is a good workout. You burn a lot of calories having sex.
Well, there's a lot of benefits to, if you're in a committed, loving relation or monogamous relationship. It's a great expression. It's actually good for your immune system.
It is?
It is.
You healthy?
Yes, it raises your immune system. It's actually very good for you.
Hell yeah, you guys, having sex is good. All right, we have a couple.
Person and the right.
Okay, we got Jesus. Okay, we have a couple more questions, and if you guys have any more questions, send them on in. We are having a blast talking about sex, and
It's very human.
It's human.
It's human.
We're human beings.
That's how you're here.
Thank you. Honestly, thank you.
You're welcome. That's how the world goes round.
A couple more questions. Pregnancy. Is it possible to get pregnant if a guy and a girl are in a pool together?
Well, if they are having intercourse, if the penis is inside the vagina, even though they're in a pool,
you say penis inside a vagina is always going to be crazy.
And he ejaculates and he's inside of her, of course that could happen.
But what about the chlorine and all that
water? If he ejaculates inside the vagina, then the semen goes up, right up into the womb.
there's gotta be this is chlorine.
That's outside
water,
the body. No.
Water seeping in.
No. No.
Doesn't water seep in?
No.
You wouldn't think that water seeps on in?
No, because once he ejaculates, that semen goes right up into the fallopian tubes.
What if there's a little bit of semen that has chlorine in it?
No, that wouldn't happen because the penis is inside the vagina.
But what if there's water seeping in?
But I tell you this, it would be the guy would have to be in amazing shape to have an erect penis that needs a lot of blood flow, and if he's like treading water in the pool, he would have to be in amazing shape.
So, you're more likely to get pregnant if you're having sex in a pool.
No.
If someone's in really good shape.
Oh, Michael.
I'm just saying what you said. We have a couple more questions. Right. This has been super fun and very enlightening. Love the comments, especially about how my mom's legs are great. Thank you guys so much. Really appreciate it. So a couple more. Condoms.
Okay.
Would a plastic bag work as a condom?
No.
That seems like a pretty simple one, right?
Yeah.
Okay, can you lose a condom in a vagina?
Highly doubtful.
I bet. I had a friend who we were at brunch, and she went to the bathroom and pulled a condom out of her vagina.
Michael.
That's a real thing.
Well, that's never come up in my health class, and I can't even imagine. I can't.
That is a real thing that happened to me. A friend of mine pulled a condom out of her vagina at brunch in the bathroom. You know this person. I won't say.
Oh, please.
Oh, it's a real thing. Okay, last thing we're going to talk about is STDs. Then we're going to get out of here. You've done an amazing job,
Thank
Mom.
you.
I think everyone can say I love my mom to death, and I think you guys hopefully you love. She's killing it. STDs. Last 2 questions. Why does it burn when I pee? Someone asked.
Okay, here's the thing with STDs that everyone needs to understand. 90% of STDs are asymptomatical for a duration of time, and some of them could be asymptomatical. Means
Take it to the board. Let's
well,
take it to the board.
There's no signs. I don't have to. There's nothing to write. There's no signs or symptoms. So
Okay.
let's say you could be HIV positive for 6 years. So you have this virus in you, but you look fine, feel fine. There's no signs or symptoms. Many STDs are asymptomatical for a long time.
Okay.
Some longer than others. So in other words, let's say somebody has like chlamydia or HPV, which are genital warts. Hey, you're not going to see them, especially if my genital warts are, inside the fallopian
Well,
tube.
draw what it looks like, because honestly,
Well,
I don't know what that looks
Well,
like.
here's the problem.
Draw it.
Well, I did draw it.
Draw it.
A woman's
Take it to the board.
A woman's organs are internal, okay?
Okay.
So they're inside, you don't see them.
They're inside.
You don't see
You
them,
don't see.
okay? So that's a cervix and that's a vagina. So the only thing you would see if you had the woman down on the bottom is, you could see the opening for the vagina.
Okay.
So there's 3 openings. There's the urethra, the vagina, and the anus.
Draw that, because I don't know anything about
Well,
the vagina.
Michael, it's on her bottom, a woman's bottom. If her legs are like this in stirrups, there's a little hole for the urethra where urine comes out.
P.
Then there's the vagina, and then there's the anus. All right?
P.
Right? That's the vagina,
Vag stuff.
and that's the anus. And that's
Vag
the anus.
stuff. And then poop.
Right. Now, so we're very complicated because we have 3 different orifices on our bottom. You guys have 2.
2. A penis hole and a butthole.
Right, but here's the thing. So if a woman, let's say, has chlamydia up in her fallopian tubes, she has no signs or symptoms because it won't burn when she pees. Because it's up to the reproductive organs. So she has no burning when she pees. And if she's not constipated, she's having regular bowel movements. So she has stuff, she could have STDs in the uterus, in the fallopian tubes, in the ovaries, or the vagina. She would know. So when I teach my high school health class, it's like, if you're going to put your penis into that vagina, you better wrap it up because you don't know what you're going into. You could be going into Pandora's box.
You could be putting your penis into Pandora's box.
But you don't know what it is.
So you have to wrap it up.
So you have to wrap it up. But here's the thing. By the time she starts getting symptoms, like really symptoms, she might have had an STD in her, I don't know, years, months. And the guy, if he notices like warts on his penis, he'll run to the clinic and he's like, "Oh, dude, I got."
But she might not know because it's
she
inside.
Won't know. Right. So it's really, and I have 2 sons, so it's much more important for the men to really wear condoms. Latex condoms, real condoms, not animal skin, with no noxonol 9.
No noxonol 9.
Wrap it up, and you don't want to share. The only time you want to share your semen and vaginal fluids
is when you want to have a baby.
if you don't want to have a baby, you don't share any of these fluids, vaginal or semen fluids. You just don't do it. And you really, when you're putting your penis up in that vagina, you have no idea, and she might have no idea what's in there.
So when you're putting a penis in a vagina, you have no idea.
No.
She has no idea.
No.
You have no idea.
And like I tell my kids, I say, before you want to like share the love, like you don't know what you're sharing. Like, dude, share the love. Come on.
I want that to be like some kind of gif on the internet.
You don't know what you're sharing. You have to be very careful.
Okay.
So condoms are, and for any moms that are watching this, if you have teenagers, and I really think you should have the talk, but just like you tell your kids when they're going to drive, make sure you buckle up, make sure you put this thing away when you're driving. And if you have teenagers dating or college kids, not that you want them sexually active, but you know what? You should buy them some condoms.
You gotta buy condoms.
Just, err on caution. Not that you want your kids being sexually active. However,
well, yeah, if they're going to be sexually active, they should be safe.
Well, yeah.
Cool.
I don't want kids sick.
Cool. So this has been Sex Ed with my mom, who's a sex teacher.
A health teacher.
A health teacher. School starts tomorrow. Good luck. Have fun. and you'll be back. You guys are learning. I'm learning. Thanks for tuning in. I'll be here all week and next week doing a lot of weird things. So, bye.
Be safe, guys.
Be safe. You gotta be safe.
Okay.
Be safe.
Be safe.